Hello, everyone.
Welcome, everyone. Today's a
Yes,
special day.
yes.
Happy Valentine's Day to those that celebrate, those that got flowers and chocolates. And we're so excited. We're starting a new series. And welcome if it's your first time here.
Yeah,
My name is First Lady Angela Rose, and this is Kingdom Revival Ministries International,
yeah.
also known as KRMI.
Church
Yeah.
represent. Blessings, everyone. We are delighted to have you. I want to make sure that can everybody hear us clearly? We just want to make sure that everything is clear, everything is
Yes. 1
perfect.
second.
Just give us a couple of seconds. We want to make sure everything looks beautiful. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good conversation. Today is a good day. Yes, it's Valentine's Day, and some people do celebrate. Some other people don't celebrate. I'm not gonna get into those type of conversation. But today it's a good day. It's Sunday afternoon after 4 o'clock. It is 4:08. I want to make sure that everybody can hear us. Does everybody can hear us? I don't know. It's okay. Some people don't want to interact. That's fine. So we just want to make sure we want to greet everyone. We want to say hi to our assistant, Dana, prophetess Dana Joseph, blessings, woman of God. We're so excited to have you. Come on, people of God. If you see this live, I'm gonna ask you to share the live, share the live, share the live, share it. I did share it to my to my page, to my personal page, Rodi La Rose. Yes, my name is Pastor Rodi La Rose. We are excited to have you here. Yes, Prophetess Dana, thank you so much for being here. People of God, come on, share the live if you are here. And today we're going to have a we're going to talk about something that is extremely important. Don't mind me. I'm looking at here. I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at the screen to make sure everything is flawless and perfect. Come on, people of God. I hope you are excited. I hope you had a great day. Some people went to their church online services. Some people were able to attend in person. Some people had to attend online. So we want to greet you. We are so excited to have you. And First Lady, we are excited to see you, everyone that is watching us all around the world. Yes.
Yes.
Kingdom Revival Ministry International is a global ministry or an international ministry, and we're so excited. And God is opening doors. People of God, I'm telling you, things are happening in the back scene. We cannot wait to share with you what's coming, but we're gonna just sit back with us and enjoy what we are doing as of now in the ministry. So we are so excited to have you. And today it's the month of February. Yes, we started last week. We start the month of February on the 7th. We did a recap of the prophetic conference. I don't know. We had some technical issues, people of God. I don't know what happened. Technologies always have some issues, but we're so excited. It did work out. We posted it on Monday, and people were, if you didn't have the chance, go have a look. It was just a recap of the prophetic month. It was powerful, 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 powerful. That's the only word I can tell you. I'm not going to last too long on it. But for the month of February, as we know, everybody, it's the month of Black History Month, like they love to call it here in Canada. In the US, it's called Black History Month. But what we wanted to do, we wanted to shift it a little bit and we want to talk about our family and love. Yes, we need to talk about family and love. And today, of course, it's Valentine's Day. Why not a perfect day to discuss about a perfect subject that we want to share with you? And the subject is about the five love languages.
Yes.
I'm gonna let First Lady to go ahead because she is the one that came up with the subject. And I'm like, yes, why not? Let's do this. Let's do it. I'm gonna let First Lady to do the small introduction, and then I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna catch up with her. I'm just gonna make sure everything looks good. So First Lady, go ahead.
All right. So Pastor Rody said, today and for the next 4 Sundays, we're going to talk about the 5 love languages.
Yes.
Now, just let us know in the comments if you heard of that book. It's by the author, Dr. Gary Chapman. If you read it, if you have seen it, if you know people that have read it, just give us some comments and let us know what you think about that book. For us, we think it was very eye-opening.
Yes,
I remember we read it like years and years ago, and it's something that it's a resource and a book that you should have always by your side, and you review it constantly, because the thing is, marriage is hard.
It is hard,
right? So let's be real. Marriage is hard.
It is hard.
It's not easy. 2 imperfect people coming together, and we got married very young, and at the time we're like, oh, we got this, it's gonna be fine, it's not that difficult,
yeah,
it's just 2 people living together. Well, guess what? There's a lot of challenges, and when it comes to communicating with each other, it takes a lot of effort.
Yes.
It takes a lot of trials and errors.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of understanding the other person.
Yes.
So, I don't want to give you too much, but basically after 15 years, we've seen all type of colors when it comes to marriages.
Yes, it does.
We had trials, we had tribulations, conflicts, didn't want to see each other, hated each other. It's like... the
whole package.
Yeah, the whole package. So.
Yeah, people of God, let me tell you something. We are a pastor right now. I'm the pastor, and she is the First Lady. Let me tell you something, guys. When she said that, when we got married to a young age, and of course we did attend the counseling session with our senior pastor.
Yes.
Where we're in Toronto. So we met in Toronto. Let me tell you something. Yes, we did the session. It was wonderful, and let me tell you something, guys. It wasn't easy at all, because, like she said, we were young. I think she was like 22.
22, yeah.
And I was like 25, heading to my 26th birthday.
Yeah.
So we were. Can you imagine? People were saying, "My God, you marry a baby." To tell you the truth, yes, she was extremely young. For someone to get married at 22, it's pretty young, and it is something that we don't see that anymore. We don't see that often, as we are in the 21st century, and people do get married a little bit later on.
Yes.
Now, right now, the age is around 25, 26, even the 30s.
Yeah.
This is the time that people get married. And do we regret it? No. We enjoy it, and we had. It was beautiful. Let me tell you something. Marriage is beautiful, but sometimes it comes with the ups and downs. Yes, Prophetess Dana, marriage counseling is a must.
Yes.
It is extremely a must before you get married.
Yes.
It is extremely important that you attend those marriage sessions with your pastor. Listen, if you are in a church, before you get married, make sure you attend those counseling sessions, because you're gonna study. You're gonna go through some questions, some lessons that you have to learn about marriage. And let me tell you something. It was a great session. I think it lasted for probably 4 months, 4 or 5 months before we got married. I remember we started in December, and then we got married in May. So it lasted for a couple months.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, during the session, we went through everything. But that book that she's talking about by Dr. Gary Chapman, let me tell you something. It was an eye-opener for us.
Yes.
It was something that really, how I can say it did change our perspective on marriage. and we started to understand each other, how we everybody has their own love languages.
Yes.
And this is why we want to take the time today. We're going to go through the five of them, not today. What
Yes.
we're going to do today, we're going to start with one.
Yes.
It's going to be a small introduction. We're hoping we're not going to last for an hour. Listen, maximum half an hour, top max. And we're going to go through every, one of the first one is, First Lady is going to jump into it.
Yes.
But let me tell you something before we go into it. In the first word,
Yes.
or the first language,
Yes.
we want to tell you something, people of God, that when you're in a marriage, make sure you always read some books about marriage. There's always time to, not time, but there's always place for improvement. You can always improve your marriage. You can
Yes.
always do certain things to improve your marriage life.
Exactly.
And what we wanted to do today, if you remember last year, we spoke about our 15th anniversary. Listen, people, we're going on 16 years.
Yes.
Can you imagine that?
Mhm.
16 years of marriage. And it's amazing. God has been faithful to us. So, First Lady, the book Five Love Languages, can you explain to us what it meant to you when you read that?
I think this book is really like it's really simple to understand.
Mhm.
The way it's written, simple terms. It gives lots of examples, lots of illustrations.
Yes.
And one thing that for me that I can summarize
Mhm.
is that communicating with your spouse can be a challenge.
Yes, it is. It can
Right?
be.
So he's given us some keys on how to be effective communicators.
Yes.
Because what you must realize is that if you communicate a certain way to your spouse
Mhm.
and your spouse doesn't receive love in that method
Mhm.
or in that way, then it's going to be like the person is speaking Chinese to you.
Yes.
You're not going to respond to his love or to her love
Mhm.
because it's not your way to respond. It's not your way for your mind to say, oh yes, he really loves me.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's what the book is about.
Mhm.
And it's a game changer.
It
When you
is.
understand it, you know how to apply it. And there's also a quiz that people can do, couples can do,
Mhm.
to really find out which category am I in,
Mhm.
which love language is more like me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then for myself, what it meant, it was a game changer. Yes, what it meant is, of course, communication is the first thing that comes up in mind. And I remember our maid of honor at our wedding was telling us that communication is key
Yes.
into our marriage life, and it is true.
Mhm.
Marriage is the key. Is sorry, not marriage. Communication is the key for a successful marriage.
Yes.
And it doesn't only apply to marriage. It applies with the family.
Mhm.
And one of the things I've seen with this with the author, he has a book for family. He has
Yes.
a book for kids, and he has a
Mhm.
book for teenagers. So
Yes.
he went through the family that we know today, husband and wife. That's
Yes.
what he spoke about.
Yes.
And that book really helped me out to understand my wife love languages,
Mhm.
and she understood my love languages. We're
Yes.
going to share what I don't know if people remember for our wedding anniversary, we spoke about it,
Mhm.
but one of mine is I'm not going to share it right now. We're going to go through them, but my wife find out what was my love languages, and
Yes.
she knows that I love that type of love languages. And I find out too what's the love languages too, and this is how we were able to flourish and to grow in our marriage.
Yes.
And we thank God after 15 years of marriage, God has been faithful to us. Let me tell you something. Yes, we went through trials and tribulation. Let me tell you something. It wasn't easy at all. Sometimes we almost thought that we're gonna give up on our marriage. There was one time we thought that we're gonna end up in divorce. because we went through a hard time in our life, but God has been faithful. He has restored our marriage, and we want to give God the glory and the praise.
Amen.
So let's go dive into
Let's
the
go.
first
Yes.
love languages. And the first one that we're going to bring up is the word of our affirmation. The words of, go ahead.
I think we can, before we start with the first one,
Mhm.
because maybe people don't know, like there's 5 love languages.
Yes.
Obviously, that's the title of the book.
Yes, yes. Sorry,
So
people
if
of
we
God.
give you the 5 love languages,
Mhm.
so you have 1, words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Number 2, quality time.
Yes.
3, receiving gifts.
Yes.
4, acts of service.
Yes.
And 5, physical touch.
Yes. And you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Before we get into the word of affirmation, I did the quiz on the website,
Yes.
and behold, I'm like, oh my God. When I got the result, it did confirm my love languages. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So the test is right. So probably at the end, what we will do is when we're going to be done with the series, probably we're going to go in a little bit on the first Sunday of March.
Yes.
We're going to share with you the link.
Mhm.
And I'm going to ask everybody to share this live once again. If you're here, share the live.
Come on, share the life.
Share the live.
Yes.
It's going to be we're going to have a great time.
Mhm.
It's going to be fun, and we're going to share our own experience
Mhm.
and what the Lord did with us, and especially through each of the love languages.
Mhm.
So the first one, let's kick in, like First Lady said. Go ahead, First Lady.
All right. So the first one is word of affirmation. The first love language is words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? It's a way to express your love emotionally by
Mhm.
using words.
Yes.
And there's different types of words of affirmation.
Mhm.
And the first one is verbal compliments
Mhm.
or words of appreciation,
Mm.
right? So what does that mean?
Mhm.
It could be like, just really expressing straightforward statements.
Mhm.
Statements, yes.
Mhm.
So it could be something like, oh, you look good in that suit, or oh, you look sharp today, or you look handsome, or it could be for the vice versa. Or someone can say, oh, I love your dress. Oh, I love what you're wearing today.
Yes.
I love your makeup.
Yes.
Oh, I like that lipstick color, like whatever. Like you
Mhm.
can go, you can be so creative
Yes.
with how you express your compliments and your appreciation for your spouse.
Yes. And one of the things that you have to understand too
Mhm.
is those words of affirmation can build up that person.
Yes.
Without knowing,
Mhm.
you're building up that person. You're giving that person more, not only confidence, but you're building up that person. This is what the word of affirmation does.
Yes.
It builds up the person.
Mhm.
It builds that person. That's why in Proverbs 18, verse 21, it
Mhm.
says, "Death and life
Yes.
are in the power of the tongue."
Yes.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So
Mhm.
when you give those word of affirmation,
Yes.
or those verbal compliments,
Mhm.
it affirms your love to that person, and you bring life into your marriage.
Exactly.
I don't know if someone gets it. I hope people are listening to us clearly.
Yes.
So what we do is, when I see my wife dressed beautifully, I always say, "Oh, love, you're hot. What's going on today? What's happening?" Or if I dress really well, she
Yeah.
will say to me, "I love what you're wearing today, baby."
Yes.
Or love, I really I love
Mhm.
that fit in you.
Yes.
So that's the way that you affirm those type of thing.
Mhm.
And or another type of way you can affirm that person is, "Thank you for doing something for me. I
Yes.
really appreciate it."
Yes.
So sometimes we have to take the time to affirm that person, to affirm the love that you have. This is what we said when we said word of the communication is extremely important. You need to communicate those type of word of affirmation,
Yes.
and especially those verbal confirmation that
Exactly.
it shows that you love that person. I don't know if everyone understand what we're going through. It's really simple. It's not big. So the second one is the word of encouragement. Let me show that to you so you can follow with us.
Mhm.
And the word of encouragement, I think, is extremely important in a couple.
Yes.
What do you mean by that word of encouragement? Like, okay, what is it all about this? What is all about this is in our couple life, or in not couple life, but in your marriage.
Mhm.
What happened is you had the plan before you got married. You had your personal plan and you wanted to do something big. Some people it was to start your own business. Some people it's to start go back to school, or some other people is to achieve something that they never did
Yes.
before,
Yes.
and they wanted to do it.
Mhm.
It's not the time to bring down the person. It's not the time to tell the person this is not the right timing. I don't think it is right now. Oh, you better get a job before you do this and that. So when we say word of encouragement, you need to encourage that person.
Yes.
This is a type of a communication, because what can happen is, let's take a good example. You have a plan to start your own business. Do we have any entrepreneur in our life? Do we have business owners?
Mhm.
How did it start? Some people, yeah, they had a chance to start it way before they got married.
Mhm.
We give God the praise, but some people they hold up so much into that dream, and it's when they got married. This is when they started to say to their wife or to their husband, babe, I've been thinking to start a business.
Mhm.
I've been thinking to do this, because what can happen is your word of encouragement can encourage that person to pursue that dream.
Exactly.
I don't know if First Lady you want to interject on something.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's exactly that. So
Mhm.
words of encouragement also means, sometimes to give the boost the boost that the person needs, right?
Yes.
So sometimes, your spouse, maybe they had a project, they wrote it down years and years ago and
Mhm.
just forgot about it. Maybe they were rejected. Maybe they spoke to someone about it. Someone said, no, that would never work.
Yes,
Don't even
yes,
think about
yes.
it. It's not gonna happen.
Mhm.
Or forget about it.
Mhm.
And that person just put it aside, right? But if your spouse wants to, go back and try maybe one more time
Mhm.
to make it happen, so you are the calister, the person that's gonna push your
Yes,
spouse
yes.
and really give that boost to say, yes, you can do it.
Mhm.
We're gonna change the budget. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna get financing.
Yes.
Really, if you want to pursue that, then yes,
Mhm.
let's do this.
Mhm.
I'm behind you 100%.
Mhm.
Let's give it your all. I believe in you. I know you will make it. And just those words that might seem like it's nothing, like there's no weight to it. It means something.
It means a lot.
It means a lot.
Because with those simple words telling people, I'm with you, I believe in you,
Yes.
I know you can do it.
Yes.
Those words, let me tell you something, it brings that's why we were talking about building up that person.
Mhm.
It's building up a confident in
Yes.
himself
Yes.
or herself. Let's take a good example. Like,
Mhm.
let's use ourselves. I planning to start a business. That was years ago. I started a business in Toronto, and I didn't. I think at that time I was not working, and I decided to start my own business.
Yes.
She was behind me,
Mhm.
even though sometimes we didn't know where the money was coming from. But I did see some flow of cash flow coming in.
Mhm.
But she was behind me. She says, "Go ahead, you can do it.
Yes.
Let's go, let's do it."
Yes.
And now I study something else. Like right now, as of today, I'm doing something else, and my wife always been behind me. This is what you want. You want your spouse to be your cheerleader.
Yes.
You want your husband to be your cheerleaders.
Yes.
It's not the time to bring down the person and telling that person, oh no, you're not gonna make it. You need to work, because if you don't work, where we're gonna pay our rent, how we're gonna pay our mortgage, how we're gonna pay our bills and everything. Listen,
Yes.
if you have to, when you do those type of things, definitely you need to budget.
Yes.
And when you do the budget, it will work. Let me
Yes.
tell you something. The word of encouragement are extremely important. You need to encourage each other.
Yes.
And I even believe there's a Bible verse that talks about it. It's in Colossians 4 verse 6. It says, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person.
Yes.
It's not only in church it applies, but it applies in your marriage life too.
Amen.
So that's when you have to make sure that you encourage your wife with those sweet words, and telling her, listen, baby, I believe in you. I believe you can do it. I am 100% behind you. Let's do this. Let's work together. If you have to reduce your hours at work, we're gonna find out how we're gonna make it. Listen, when you have a business venture or whatever project that you have, the best person to talk to is your husband, or let's say your spouse.
Yes.
They're the best person to talk to.
That's right. Yes.
My God.
So are you guys still with us? Are you following? Are you enjoying this?
Yes.
It's a pretty, exciting subject.
It is
very easy to understand, but at the same time, it's so simple that you can apply it
yes
to, a lot of your relationships.
Mhm.
So the next one, we want to talk about is kind words.
Mhm.
So many times we forget to be kind to our spouse. Let's just say it like that,
Yes,
right?
true.
Let's be real.
Mhm.
So we can be kind to other people. At work, we're nice. With our friends, we're nice. But when it comes to our spouse, sometimes we are harsh. Sometimes we don't say the right words. Sometimes we are rude. Sometimes we don't say the right things.
Yes.
But the Bible is clear
Mhm.
on 1 Corinthians 13,
Mhm.
which is something I'm sure everybody knows.
Yes.
If you've been to a wedding, for sure they read that chapter.
Oh my God.
But I'm just going to give you two things. Love is patient, love is kind.
Yes. Yes.
Love is patient, love is kind.
Let me tell you something. They read that chapter at our wedding.
Yes.
I think it's a universal chapter. It's been read in every wedding.
Yes.
Listen. If you go to a wedding, you're gonna hear that chapter on 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 and to the end.
Exactly.
So right, love is patient and love is kind. Go ahead, First Lady. Go ahead.
So we have to watch our tone when we communicate, when we speak, especially to our spouse. We have to speak with the right tone, right? So there's a way to say things. There's a way to ask for things. There's a way to express yourself without being, condescending or rude or just nasty.
Oh, you say nasty?
Nasty, yeah.
Whoa, okay.
So I can give it an example, right? So it's just how you say it. Like, if someone asks you, oh, do you want to do the dishes? You can say, okay, fine, I'll do the dishes.
Whoa.
Right?
Yeah, it can happen.
Or if you say, all right, I don't mind, I'm going to do the dishes. So you see that difference right there?
And the tone.
And the tone.
Yeah.
So it's about also your attitude, how you express yourself. And there's gonna be other times where you could be disappointed about something, or you feel hurt about something, and it's how you approach that person that's gonna make the biggest difference, right?
Big difference.
So for example, you can say, oh, I really felt disappointed that you didn't help me tonight in the kitchen, right? And then it opens up a communication, a conversation. That the other person could say, oh, I'm sorry, or I didn't know that you needed help, or
Mhm.
next time I'm gonna ask you if you need help, right? So it creates a conversation,
Yes,
and it's an opportunity to really be open,
exactly. And
right?
especially when that person is hurt or that
Mhm.
person is mad at you, there's a good proverb that says, Proverb 15 verse 1. It
Mhm.
says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stir up anger.
Exactly.
So when you're having situation like
Mhm.
she said, or when you went into an argument, kind words will help to bring down that person, and
Mhm.
and you'll be able to have a conversation, like she said, with a conversation with with your spouse. And like she was mentioning,
Mhm.
you were supposed to do I thought you were going to help me in the kitchen.
Yes.
And you said, honey, I'm so sorry. I didn't meant to leave you alone in the kitchen.
Mhm.
So listen, it takes, I don't think it's going to happen right away. It will
Mhm.
take times.
Yes.
It took us time to really build that up there. Even sometimes she's mad at me
Mhm.
for certain things. So what I do is I leave my wife for, let me share a couple of weeks. Let me share something with you. When she's mad, listen, she's mad for real. I'm telling you, she can be mad. She can, listen, I know my wife. So what I do is sometimes I leave her alone before I go to her. And when she comes down, what I do is I go back and I said, honey, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk?
Mhm.
She might tell me, no, I don't want to talk to you. I said, babe, we need to talk. I know you're not happy. And then what I do is I give her a hug. Sometimes she doesn't want to give me a hug, but I still give the hug to her and I say kind words. And then when I give those kind words, then she open up and she says to me, listen, I was expecting you to do this for me. Oh, I was expecting this and that.
Yes.
Sometimes I tell her, listen, I'm not like this, but we're having a conversation. And this is what you want. You wanted to have a conversation with your wife.
Yes.
So this is how kind words can bring down. That's what when we use Proverbs 15 verse 1, gentle answers
Yes.
turns away the wrath. It is true. We have experienced it.
That's
Let
right.
me tell you something, people of God. It is so true. Go ahead, First Lady. You are doing good.
Yes. So, and again, when you are, the way you answer, if we go back to that scripture, Proverbs 15:1,
Mhm.
the way you answer is either gonna uh, uh, um, lift up the person,
Mhm.
or it's either gonna bring the person down,
Yes.
right? So when you are gentle, when you are kind, when you don't respond with
Mhm.
angerness, with
Mhm.
with anger,
Mhm.
then it just creates a conversation, right? So you
Mhm.
can confess, you can say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize, or next time I'm gonna do better.
Mhm.
And it just helps to improve the relationship.
It does help. And let me
Right.
tell you something. We need to confess. Listen, man, I know sometimes it's hard to say, even for forgiveness, sometimes we're like, you're supposed to forgive me. No, I'm supposed to forgive. Listen, it's okay to apologize and to forgive when you have arguments with your husband or your wife. Sometimes the
Yes.
husband is wrong. Man, it's okay to ask for forgiveness. Women, if it's you that is wrong, it's okay.
Mhm.
If you're wrong, ask for forgiveness, and
Yes.
each other, it helps and it builds up.
Exactly.
Yes.
It builds intimacy.
It does.
Builds reconciliation. So these are all the things that you want, right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, when you get home, it should be your safe space.
It should
be a place of peace.
Yes,
Right?
amen. That's true. It is true, people of God. When you go home, it's supposed to be your safe place.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, I've been hearing things that people said, they're married and they said, I don't like to be home.
Yes.
And it's really sad. So your house it should be your safety place. It should be the place where you feel safe, where your wife or your husband welcomes you.
Yes.
Let's go.
And we're gonna finish with this with
Mhm.
humble words.
Okay,
Right.
what do you mean by humble words?
Humble words. What does it mean?
Yes, please explain to the people.
So if I can start with a scripture, so we're gonna read Ephesians 4:2-3.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, with all humility and gentleness,
Mhm.
with patience,
Mhm.
bearing with one another in love,
Mm-hmm.
eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit and the bond of peace.
Yes.
So when you love someone, when you're in a relationship, you cannot make demands. You have to make a request. So what do we mean by that? Like there's requests, there's demands.
Mhm.
Demands just carries like a feeling of obligation. Right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Like,
right.
oh, you have to cook for me, or you have to do this for me, or you have to bring me to work, you have to drive me to the grocery store, you have to do this. Like, no, like there's no, like when you married, it's not like, okay, you the parents, I'm the child. No, we are equal partners.
Yes.
And that means that, you request, your approach should be in a type of request, like, oh, is it possible for you to drive me to work tomorrow morning?
Mhm.
Is that possible for you to do the dishes for me after dinner?
Yeah.
Is it possible for you to wash
The dishes.
Mhm. do the laundry, whatever?
Mhm.
Right? So you notice how my approach was different?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So let me add a little bit on this. Humble words are extremely important. When we say humble words, it's really it's doing the request.
Yes.
I know men's love to demand certain things from their wife.
Mhm.
Listen, you cannot demand certain things. You have to request them.
Yes.
And usually when you do those demand, it's pretty harsh when you say it.
Mhm.
And like she said, oh, you're supposed to cook for me. No, it's not the way you're supposed to answer. You're supposed to tell the person, listen, you did something really good last week.
Mhm.
Do you think you can do it for me today? Do you
Yes.
think it is possible for you?
Yes.
Oh, honey, what you cooked last week was extremely good. Can you do it today? Or can you do it next week? Let's do this. Let's have that same meal that we have a couple weeks ago. Those type of word, it's a request.
Mhm.
Because in our culture, we don't I don't want to say it in Creole because we say we don't stay with you. I don't like it's the type of telling you, listen, don't demand stuff out of me. You're
Yeah.
supposed to request, you're supposed to ask.
Yeah.
So that's the way a relationship it does. It's like my wife, if she's cooking something, she's cooking something, she's in the kitchen. What I'll do is usually at the end,
Mhm.
I will do the dishes.
Yes.
She's gonna ask me sometimes. I might be extremely busy,
Mhm.
and she might ask me. She tells me, "Honey, can you do this for me? Can you do the
Yes.
dishes for me?" Or what we do is we have an agreement. That's another way we can do it. Is every time she cooks, I have to do the dishes. Or sometimes she finds that I'm too tired. She said, "I'll do the dishes." Or what I do is, "Honey, no, let me do that for you. You did cook." So that's the way it works. It's not like she's cooking telling me, "Hey, you're supposed to do dishes. You're supposed to do that." It doesn't work like that. In a marriage life, if you're about to get married, if you're planning to be married, let me tell you something. It is extremely important to have a conversation not conversation, have communication. You need to communicate with your husband and your future wife. It is extremely important. So those humble words it's gold. It's gold. You need to be humble. You need to use humble words, like we said, asking a request. Then go ahead.
I think, like, if you can summarize
Mhm.
this chapter right here,
Mhm.
humble words, kind words, sometimes it's all about compromising.
Yes.
Compromising, meaning finding a middle ground,
Yes.
right? I don't know. And each couples or each marriage is different, right?
Yes.
So we can only give you examples of what works for us,
Mhm.
right? But compromising meaning sometimes I'm in the kitchen cooking and he's doing laundry, right? Or we have different tasks. We divide the work, the house chores. Like, there has to be an understanding, right? It's not just one person. It's no longer in a parent's time where the woman was doing everything. No, like we have to
We're on the 21st century.
Yeah. We have to get better at it.
Yes.
So it's really about, finding a middle ground and really communicating what you need from your spouse at that time.
Yes.
And so many times, I think I shared that last year. I'm going to share it again. So many times we assume that the spouse knows what we need or the spouse knows what we want. But that's not necessarily the case, right? So sometimes I could be in the kitchen and I don't know, my husband finished the milk. I didn't realize there's no milk. And then I go to the grocery store and he never told me there's no more milk. And then I get mad at him because he never told me. No, like it's about communication, right?
Yes.
So sometimes in the fridge, we will have a list of, what is missing, right? What is finished and that we need to buy more of.
Yes.
Or sometimes, my husband could be doing something. I think he's busy. I'm assuming that what I'm going to ask, he's not going to be able to do. But, I'll be surprised. Sometimes I will say, do you think, can you do this for me right now? Like, can you stop what you're doing, do this? And he'll be more than happy to respond and say, yes, no problem. Right? So it's about, verbalizing, communicating. And I know women, sometimes we assume that the husband would know, that the husband understands, that the husband sees that, I don't know, there's no more bread. And when he goes to the grocery store, he's going to know to buy bread. No, that's not necessarily true, right?
Yes.
So this is just example stuff that we notice, throughout the years. We have more stories.
we have a lot of stories to share with you guys, and I'm telling you, sorry about that. Is what First Lady said? It is so true. It is so. It's all about having to compromise or to find the middle ground. This is how it works in a relationship or in marriage.
Yes.
So, like we said today, those words of affirmation is extremely important in a relationship. If you're married to someone, those words are extremely important. So next week, we're going to dive into the second part.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited about this title.
Second part.
It's quality time.
Quality time.
Oh my God. We're going to get a little bit deep and deep and deep. So we want to take the time to really share certain things with you, and we want to say thank you for everyone that is watching us. And I'm going to let First Lady to do the announcement before we conclude the live. We've been there for at least, let's say, a good half an hour. Yeah, we've been there for a good half an hour. So we don't want to be too long. So First Lady, go ahead and share what needs to be said.
So, as you know, we are Kingdom Revival Ministries. We started this ministry, not too long ago, but God is just moving quick with us. It's just taking an acceleration in everything that we do, and the doors are being opened and the opportunities are coming to us. So we want to give you that opportunity, that time, if you want to partner with us by sowing a seed, by giving into the ministry. And like we always said, there's no obligation, nobody's gonna force you to give. Everything that you do, like the Bible says, do it with joy.
Yeah.
Do it with joy.
Yes.
Be happy when you give. Be happy when you donate. Just give with your heart.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking. So the information is there on the screen. And if you're in the US, it's going to be by PayPal. If you're in Canada, it's going to be by e-transfer.
Yes. So the information is right on the screen right there where you're seeing it right now. Let me see, do this. People have gone just looking. Okay, right there. Right there. And I'm gonna ask First Lady to pin the message too. So we're gonna ask you to sow your seed at info@krmi.org with the password KRMI. If you are in Canada, to all my Canadian people, if you reside in Canada, we have e-transfer. So if you want to sow your seed to our ministry, it's info@krmi, and you put the password KRMI.
Yes.
So if you are in the US, my beautiful people in the United States, if you want to sow a seed into our ministry, we're gonna use PayPal. Very soon, we're gonna have access to Cash App and Zelle. It's coming soon. I'm telling you, things are moving quick in the ministry. It's crazy. It's paypal.me/KRMINTL.
Yes.
So if you are in the US, I wanted to talk to you for a few seconds before I leave. I want to see if I can share something with the people of God. Let me see. Give me 2 seconds, people of God. I want to see if I can share something with you.
And while we're waiting for Pastor Rody, he's just having some technical issues here.
Yeah.
But if you can still hear me and you can see me, just share with us, are you married? Have you ever read the book, The 5 Love Languages? Just let us know in the comments. What do you think of the subject? Have you ever looked into the 5 love languages? Did you ever do the test? Did you ever do the quiz?
Let us know, people of God. I'm seeing that people are watching us right now, and I'm gonna ask people of God to let us know. If you do watch it. Okay, I thought this could have worked. It's not working. Oh my God. Okay, I wanted to share something with you, people of God, but I don't understand why it's doing this. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay. So I'm gonna share this. I don't know if everyone can see this. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, people can share. All right, give us 2 seconds here. We are sharing something quickly with you, people of God. Oh, sorry about that.
We can see it.
Okay, you can see it? Okay. Oh, hold on a second, people. I'm so sorry. I'm telling you, give me 2 seconds here. It doesn't want to share. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I didn't practice.
It says it's sharing.
Yeah, it says it's sharing, but it's dark screen. I don't know. Let me go back. Okay, I'm just gonna share something. I don't know if it comes back up. So let me tell you something. Next month I'm about to preach in Pakistan. Okay, yes, people do see it. I'm gonna preach in Pakistan, and as you're seeing this, the picture right there, this is leaders in Pakistan. So I'm gonna be preaching there via Zoom, or I believe it's gonna be via Skype. I'm gonna be sharing the Word of God. What I'm gonna ask you, people of God, is while you sow a seed, you can put for it's a type of mission, but virtual mission trip I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna be training pastors and leaders in Pakistan. I was approached by a man of God that I know really well. So what I'll do next week, I'm going to take the time. I'm going to ask him to send a video so we can share with you the video, and we're going to ask for donation. So whoever is watching this live right now, we're going to ask you to sow a seed in order so we can sponsor this event, this training. It's the people in Pakistan don't have money right now. Most of the pastors are poor, so they live out of the gospel. This is their life. So the man of God that the pastor asked me to do the teaching for them. So what I'll do next week is I'm going to ask him to send a video so we can share with you his heart for the ministry. So if you're watching us, please, people of God, don't forget to send your donation
Yes.
to us. And again, the information is below. If you want to sow a seed into here, if you're in Canada, it's info@krmi.org.
Yep.
Or in the US, you can do it by PayPal. It's paypal.me/KRMINTL. Whatever amount the Lord puts in your heart, do it. And we'll be glad to send the money so we can get the pastors, give them food to eat, because they're going to spend the days. They're going to spend a whole day. It's going to be a 2-day training. So I think it's going to be a full day. So
Yes.
I'm going to be extremely busy in March preaching for those pastors. So we're so glad to have you, everyone. And we will see you next week at the same time. We're going to continue our second part of the love languages. I think we're going to probably do two points. Quality time, and the other one, it's going to be announced.
Okay.
All right, people of God, God bless you, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Bye-bye.
God bless.